Alright gang, so today we're gonna go for a run. I have like 20% on my phone, so hopefully this shit doesn't die, because I want to go maybe 15 or 30 minutes jogging, maybe record a bit of the environment around me, and maybe stop and take a rest after a certain time frame, and then just blab about something. I don't know. I like to clear my mind, but also work through stuff whenever I go for a walk or a run. Hopefully I don't gotta shit myself. There's some convenience stores along the way if I take a good route. And we're gonna go to the restroom before, but let's go ahead and do that, because I don't know, I just want to do stuff, man. And this is a good way to make videos. Just go and do shit. Alright, and my app is gonna record my steps. I'm gonna put my running app to record what the fuck I'm doing. So yeah, let's just do it. Alright, so let's get our shoes on and get the fuck out of here, eh? Okay, before we even head out, the vibes are fucking killer out here. Like, I think it's a full moon right there. Let me show y'all. The big shiny right there, man. The big shiny. Alright gang, my running map tracker thing is going, so let's go. Yo, so randomly tuning in, saying what's up during the run. To say, usually I run this path or walk this path, but I don't know everything in this area. So at some point, we're gonna take a random left turn and find our way back home, just to explore the area. Yes. What's up, gang? So right under that bridge where the train passed, decided to take a left. I've never been down this road, but we're gonna see if there's familiar landmarks, anything like that, and just find our way back home and vibe out. So that right there is what I call a bit of the Japanese steez, you know, the train lines and all that. Very fundamental and important public transportation. May not seem like a big deal to some people, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. Anyways, let's find our way. What's up, homies? So we actually did it. Found our way back home. Found the route. I know this road, but never approached it from that angle. But hey, that's part of the beauty of trying to explore new territory. Whew. All right, gang. So we were almost at 30 minutes. It was like 27 minutes and a couple seconds, and pretty good. Found our way around. Decided to come back to where we started the run and just go for like a cool down walking lap, because if I go inside, I'm just gonna continue sweating like crazy. So I want to walk it off, cool down, and yap to y'all. And today's theme, today's idea is, you'll never know exactly where life is going to take you. Just like on this run, just like in a lot of things you do, you sometimes maybe have an image, a goal, or a vague notion. Maybe you have no clue of what you want to do. But I think the more you explore... All right, wind was picking up a bit crazy there. I don't know if it still is. I don't want to re-record this, bro. Cringe. And a car was coming, so I had to get out of the way because some of these roads are very tiny. But anyways, you're never gonna know exactly where life is gonna take you. Me, in my life, I had a lot of different goals, ideas, things that maybe I abandoned, came back to, and it feels horrendous. It feels terrible to be lost and not know what to do to get to where you think you want to be. But the thing is having the courage to take a challenge and be okay with being confused and lost, not knowing how to do something correctly. Just make mistakes, dude. Do your research, due diligence and all that. Research, practice. But at the end of the day, when you finally step forward, and if you make a mistake and it's, you're gonna feel humiliated sometimes, question your self-worth maybe, but that's just your own mind games that you play on yourself. And all I'm trying to say is, like, it's okay. I mean, it's all part of the process. Like, getting lost, feeling like a freaking fool, I felt like that every step of the way, to be honest with you. And I think I've become okay with that. Like with this video stuff, I'm trying to just do more of it, and if it comes out shitty, cool, man, because then I have something to reference and be like, okay, I didn't quite articulate my point well here, or visually this didn't come out right, like the video recording or whatever settings, and you adjust from there. If you don't do anything, you have nothing to reflect on or adjust, and you'll be stuck in like the analytical, theoretical, we call it paralysis by analysis. You think so much about a thing and how to do it that you just get paralyzed by it. I see a little weasel. That fool is cringe. You see that? That is scary, bro. Like a tanuki. You. So that animal came out of nowhere. And that's another one of those things, right? So that creature there came out of nowhere. That's another one of those things, right? I went on this walk. I went whatever. I didn't know I was gonna see that funky ass. I think it's a tanuki, some kind of weasel or whatever. But anyways, to continue the topic is just like fail with elegance, fail like a buffoon. Whatever it is you do in your life, fail, fuck it up, and then fix it. You know, I don't think you're ever gonna get anything right the first time, and if you do, lucky you, but at some point you will make a mistake. So to give y'all more concrete examples about making mistakes and fucking shit up and finding your way again, it's like, for those that don't know me, I live here in Japan. I've lived out here for 7 years. After graduating university, it took me about a half a year or so to find a job, and it was so demeaning and felt like shit. Like all those years of study, and I'm struggling to find a goddamn job, you know. And when I did, I ended up in an area that I wasn't necessarily aiming for, which was Hyogo Prefecture. And I'll do like a my life little talk thing later on, but right now I'm just kind of, you know, quickly summarizing as I stand out here like a fucking weirdo talking to a camera. Let me just stand this here, homie. People coming through. So basically, I ended up in an area I wasn't aiming for because, well, in university back in the States, Washington State, shout out. I went to university, I met my now wife, you know. We started dating back in the day, about 2015. If I get the year wrong, don't beat my ass. We've been together 10 years. At the end of this year, we'll be 11. And we're married now. And anyways, I ended up in Hyogo. She's over in Kanto. We were dating 3 years long distance. And, you know, it was hard times. And I made a lot of mistakes in the teaching environment. You know, it was something I felt awkward being in, like the center of attention, having people's, you know, attention and talking and trying to, you know, do that kind of presentation work, you know, speaking and all that. And I mean, it's way different than who I am now because I'm here in front of a freaking camera yapping like crazy. But the main thing is, man, I mean, I had a lot of great experiences there. I had a lot of like heartbreaking, like big pressure moments. You know, I was in tears about like, did I make a mistake taking this job over here? You know, there was a time that I broke down and I was like, fuck, man, like, I really just want to be with my girl. We've been long distance 3 years and 4 years and so many years. And the pressure of work, the pressure of being in another country, giving up absolutely everything, family, friends, your own culture, you know, coming over here, it was a tremendous step and had a lot of difficulties. And the main gist of it is like, I ended up in so many different places, but eventually I did get to where I wanted to be. I mean, you know, I moved from Hyogo to Kanto. I was a little bit closer to my wife. I was in a different prefecture, Ibaraki. She moved to me, love her for that, and we lived together for like about 2 years in an apartment over there. Then last year in December, we moved here to Tokyo Prefecture, and we've been living here about 6 months, and guess what? Now we're gonna get a house. Like, fuck, dude, like, back in the day, I had these goals and these ideas, but I never would have imagined it in this sequence or articulated or looking in this fashion, you know? And the reason I keep making videos like this and trying to be transparent about my life experiences and shit like that is I want to be an example, a role model to my old self that was struggling and shit like that. And if there's people out there that are struggling, I mean, struggle with purpose, struggle, and it's not blind faith to want something better for yourself, you know, and to work towards something. It's commendable, it's respectable, and you may not know how to exactly create that in this present moment, but as you make attempts and fuck it up and do this and that, you're gonna get better at it. It's like, think about it as like, if you're playing basketball, if you're playing soccer, you try to make a goal, you try to make a basket, and maybe at first you don't hit it, but then you're like, oh, okay, if I put this much more power into it, I won't be as short. Oh, I put too much power. Okay, a little less power and a little more with the wrist, a little finesse in there. Or kicking the ball, you know, maybe you know, you just hit it with the point of your shoe, which you're not supposed to do. Then you're like, okay, maybe this angle, that angle, this much power. And the more you do it, the more feedback you get, the more you're able to reflect on different things. Again, I mean, it's reiterating what I said. You have to make attempts to have something to reflect on, to have something to adjust in order to correct your, you know, the way you're going. Anyways, back home, all this to say, best of luck. If you feel you're at rock bottom and there's no way out of the hole that you feel you like life has put you in or you've put yourself in, you can always put an effort to make things better. And it may not feel like it in the moment, because there's many times where I was like grinding and just working and doing shit, and it just felt, you know, I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And you know, many times in my life, like I said, like university, I felt so useless. I felt like I was a burden on my family. I felt like if I was gone, if I didn't exist anymore, everybody's life would be so much better. And you know, other times, like I said, while I'm working over here and wanting to strive to, you know, get closer to my wife, move over to Tokyo, live together, you know, I reached these things, but en route, it felt like it was so far, like I could, like, where, like, when is it gonna happen, you know? And just keep going, just keep going. I mean, like, funny enough, on our run, there was a sign that said, keep going. I don't know why it's there, if there's a business or people, if there's like a community route that people run, and maybe the students run sometimes for their like little marathons and stuff, and that's like motivation. But it definitely, in a funny way, in a serendipitous manner, inspires, right? It's like, keep going, you know, you're lost, keep going. You don't know what to do, keep going. You feel, you know, if you're at rock bottom and you think things can't get any better, or can't, you know, you think they can only get worse. If they can get worse, they can get better. And if you're at absolute rock bottom where you think everything's just fucked, I mean, the only way is up, right? So, you know, it can be done, man. Like, I know everybody's circumstances, everybody's life is different. Sometimes some people get luckier than others, but we can't really be looking at other people. We gotta just be like, okay, this is my situation. I may not have control over this. Maybe I don't have the confidence about this, but hey, let me try this. Let me try that. And eventually you will have a better idea. Anyways, I'm trying to make a community of positivity, goofiness, and nonsense, and trying to enjoy life and become our better self. You know, I'm not like trying to be Mr. Self-Help out here, but you know, these are ideas that I like to share that have helped me in my life. So if they help somebody else, fucking awesome, bro. But that's it from me. If you got anything you want to talk about, what this, if this resonated or not, if you want to ask more questions about my lifestyle, what I've done, or this and that, hit the comments. If you like Japan, if you like philosophical stuff, feel free to subscribe and keep in touch so that, you know, you can know when the next videos come out. Make requests in the comments if you want to see certain things about Japan, yap about certain topics. Yes. Anyways, y'all take it easy. Stay hydrated. It's hot as fuck out there. You're going to be sweating like, So get your electrolytes, get your nutrition, and take care of yourselves. Peace.